Friend of mine. And just a minute, boys, I got the feedbox noise. It says the great grandfather was equipoised.
I told you, Paul Revere, now this is no bump steer.
All right, we're back here on Handicappers Corner. I'm your co-host Mike Hez, along with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, May the 6th program here at Hastings. We do have 8 races on tap today, and hopefully we can get everyone getting some winners.
Get a few winners to shake off your Derby hangover.
And I should note that we do have Nearly Neil here at the Derby Bar and Grill.
Mother's Day.
Mother's Day, May the 13th. Get your tickets. I know that things are filling up fast.
We still have a few tickets available, yes, for famed
Neil Diamond impersonator.
It's a great show. I've never seen it, but apparently puts on a great show.
Well, and I'm sure you'll be able to report on May the 14th.
I will give a full set list of Nearly Neils.
Okay, first half of the double. You can start it off, Drew.
$4,000 claiming non-2 for 3-and-up Colts and Geldings.
Yep.
I went with the 5 Brodemeister, not to be confused with the Bob Baffert train. Brodemeister. Brodemeister started his career here last year. Ran a maiden special weight. Come back and run for a maiden 20. Mario Gutierrez. Derby rider Mario Gutierrez rode him that day. Just missed. He ran a big race that day. So we know he can run on this track. He goes down to Phoenix. He breaks his maiden. He comes in here fit. He's been running a lot tougher races. Now he's in the 4, non-2. Fits nice into that category. I think he's a standout. I'd put him almost as one of my bet bet of the day kind of horses on the card. Second spot I have Romance and Traveler. Another horse knows the track well. Ran here all last year. Won a maiden special weight here. Convincingly last year. He's been running like 17.5, 15,000. He drops right into the 4 non-2. He's going to be tough in there too. And the third, the Takinue barn, JJ's Traveler, another hard knocking little guy. Gets the bug on him. He was running higher too, 6,500. Fits in good in the 4,000 non-2 category.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the 5 Brodemeister has a great shot in here. Not a lot of speed in the race. I think he can find his way to the front. Owned by Praven Sorensen, who I know is a friend of the show, and
absolutely.
We'll put in the 6 Runaway Reggie in for second out of the Craig McPherson barn. Scratched last week. Not too sure what happened there, but does have a work at 35 and change. This isn't a very tough spot. He ran some decent races last year. I'll throw him in for second, and I put, as you mentioned, Romance and Traveler, who was running against much tougher last year. Obviously, things aren't as smooth with him here in 2012 as he surfaces for $4,000, but still, he's got some back class and might be able to run well. So I went 5, 6, and 1 to kick off the Sunday afternoon program. On to the second race. Got some $25,000 older geldings. Tough little race in here.
Bang up race here.
I went over this race back and forth. I did 3 selections. I changed them. I did them again. I changed them again. I ended up settling on the 4-horse Seminole Brave. I picked him 2 weeks ago for $35,000. Well, why not pick him for 25? And so I'm going to say he gets a better trip today. He had a tough go in that $35,000, and he's still got to be really good to beat some quality horses in here. Marlo Dunry rides for the Hot Mel Snow. I put in the 3 Pop Artist and Bombani in behind. There wasn't much between them last time. The disqualification ended up costing Pop Artist, but I think Pop Artist was going to win the race anyway. I got to go back to him for second and Bombani for third, but I'm leaving out Prince Intent, who won by a mile, Bear Rock and Roll, who's won at this level, and Storm and Proud Papa, who's claimed and done nothing but wins races. So it's a tough dash.
It is a tough dash. I went with Pop Artist on top just because he's always so consistent at this level.
He's money.
He's just money in the bank. Every time he runs, he gives you everything he's got, and he wins. He knows how to win. I got to go with him. I go with Pop Artist. I put Prince Intent in second. This horse is doing really good right now. I mean, he just won by daylight last time. That was for 12.5. Not an obscene race to 25,000. I think he fits in well here. And in third, I do have Storm and Proud Papa, a new one to Hastings that Mike Anderson and Terry Clyde claimed in Santa Anita. And what I do like about Storm and Proud Papa is he's a closer. And there is a lot of gas in this race, right? Prince Intent, Seminole Brave, although he's coming from off it a little bit more now. Bear Rock and Roll can be near. Pop Artist, Bombo Knees, Not Scared of Pace. So I think he'll be rolling late and he can pick up some pieces.
Yeah, I think a lot of these horses are versatile. I think Storm and Proud Papa can do either, but I mean, he's a horse that is versatile, though. At least he can come from a little bit off the pace if they are going a little too quick. But basically, a very tough second race. I wasn't sure which way to go, but I know you've ended up on Pop Artist. I'm going to go to the 4, Seminole Brave. So let's move on to the 3rd.
Moving right along, Fillies and Mares, maiden $3,000 claimers going 6.5, and I have gone to the 7 out of the Mark Luce barn. Final curtain call. A horse that just got ran second here last time to lots of cash, who was stealing a little bit in that race, lots of cash. One for fun. I don't think there's anything like that in here, and I think that gives Final curtain call the advantage. A lightly raced filly. Obviously had some problems, just got the one start in her last year. I know Mark probably just wanted to get it out. Comes back, runs a bang-up second to a horse that was much the best. Probably could have won a 10,000, maiden 10 or something like that. In second, I have Viability. Kelly Rycroft trains this horse this year for Ken Johnson, another friend of the Derby.
Yes, he's frequent this establishment.
Yes, one of our great customers. Kelly seems to like he's got this horse turned around a little bit. It ran good last time.
So good speed.
It says 3rd by 9, but you have to remember there's another one, LA Superior Court, another horse who was kind of stealing a little bit, just won by daylight, and just got beat a couple weeks by last. I have that one in second, and the 3rd. Interesting kind of horse out of the Cindy Krasner barn, Roadside. First time starter at Cahill Road. Ryan Pacheco, good to have Ryan back here at Hastings. Really good guy. What I did like about this horse was the 19-3 work out of the gate. That's probably going to be enough to win this race.
It could be. I know.
It might be, right?
Yeah, no. This horse, he's showing some ability. Cindy's can toss the
Have him ready first out, yeah.
And no, I wouldn't, because there's nothing that outstanding in here, so it wouldn't take much for this horse to actually jump up and run a good race.
Yeah.
I agree. I went to 7 Final curtain call. I liked her first time out. Had to settle for second, but still, I'm going to follow her back. I think Final curtain call is going to be tough. I put the 4, Lookout County. The only one that you didn't mention was for Lookout County, Richard Hamill and Terry Clyde. A good 3rd last year in his final start, or in her final start, and that's enough for me to take a look at her. Her work's decent enough, and I put the 5 Viability in for 3rd. I went 7, 4, and 5. On to the 4th.
On to the 4th.
We do have maiden 5 granders, 3 and up. Golds and Geldings. The 8, Brandon's Courage, stands alone to me. He looks like a single. You play in early pick 3s or something, or pick 4s. This horse is definitely very alive. I like him to win it. So wire to wire. Unlucky to get caught last time. But the 5 buzzed me in for second. First out of the Jody Rawson barn, and the 1 horse Halo's Quest with a decent second place run in his final start of 2011. But not a ton of form to go on. Brandon's Courage for me, head and shoulders above anyone else. But the 5 buzzed me in with Amadeo Perez for second, so I went 8, 5, and 1.
Again, you were reading my form, Mike. That's exactly what I had. 8, 5, 1. Brandon's Courage just looks like too much. Like you say, unlucky to get lost last time. I'm with a dude with that attitude, ran a bang-up race to win that one.
Just nailed him.
Yeah, I don't think there's anybody like that in here. So I got Brandon's Courage on top. Red Hot Amadeo Perez buzzed me in for second in Halo's Quest out of the Jim Brown barn. A good second last time in for 3rd. You said it all.
I think that's the way it's probably that's the way it's going to sit on the top board, unfortunately, too. Probably 8, 5, and 1. The 8 will be a heavy favorite. Might be able to extract some money out of them in the exotics.
And on to the 5th, Fillies and Mares, $5,000 non-winners of the year. And I know we disagree here. This is kind of a wide open event. There's a lot of different ways you can look at this race. I wasn't really sure which way to go. I looked and looked and looked. I kind of like Desperate off her races last year, but I ended up on our Dubai Girl. Horse that fired a big race first out here. She's had a little time off since then, it was 3 weeks back or so. I think if she runs that race back, she's going to be really tough. So I got her on top. I have Little Red Jet, a horse out of the Len Kazmersky barn. Len just shipped in recently. It's got some really nice horses here. Last year's Derby winner, Northern Causeway, who we're going to cover later on in the program. He went to the sales. They bought some really nice horses. This one is one of the lower end kind of horses, but he's been running really consistent. Win 2 in a row at Golden Gate. Looks pretty tough. So I got him in the second spot. Her in the second spot, I should say. And in the 3rd, JJ's Orchid. Horse that had a really good year last year. 3 wins out of 6, 5 out of 6 on the board. consistent mare. Gets Frank for Jody.
Little drop in class.
So, yeah, little drop. That was a tough race at odds easy, Dream in the Dark race. So, I got her in the third spot.
As you mentioned, we see this race quite a bit different. I'm going to say the Lino Vision race was the strong race, not so much the Our Dubai Girl race.
Yeah.
And I think that Lino Vision race, like Lino Vision will win for a lot of money or a little more money anyway.
Yeah.
I thought Ice Cap did well considering she was compromised by a tough post. She moves inside. Looks like there's going to be a pace in here. You got JJ's Orchid, you got Our Dubai Girl, who's not necessarily a speed horse, but you got Desperate, who's going to definitely ensure a fast pace.
Yeah.
So I think the back runners will get a good crisp pace going 6.5 furlongs here. I like Ice Cap to win it. The filly that finished in behind her, the 9 Dance All the Dances, she didn't get the best of goes, but still she had no pace to run at last time. Lino Vision had a 23 and 4, 47 and 3, and she still made good progress late. So I think she'll make good impression in this race, which should be run pretty quickly early. And I put the 8 Desperate in for third. She's got a big class edge on these horses, making a big drop from a 12.5. She won some good races last year with Mario Gutierrez aboard. So that was enough for me. I went 1, 9, and 8, but obviously a race where you can see a lot of different things here. It might be a good 20-cent superfecta box type of race.
Go a little
play
deep
a few
there.
horses and try and get lucky. All right, on to the 6th race. We got some maidens for you here. Maiden allowance boys here. Colts and Gelding, 6.5 is the trip. First half of your late, or first leg of your late pick 3. But I went to the 6 Green Dude. I'm going to go a bit of a price. Good form last year for George Espatia. This horse just missed to Blame the Bubbly and Blitzen's Flash last year, and I think both those horses would be pretty tough in here. I know Congrats Man is probably going to be the favorite, but I just don't like the way he keeps giving ground in the stretch. Every time, even if the pace is slow, he gives ground. He's not finishing in his races. Mm-hmm. And Green Dude, he's a 4-year-old. He's running against 3-year-olds. He has to pay the penalty in the weight department, but still, I think he's going to. I think he's the best horse. I'm going to call for him to defeat Congrats Man and the 5 Deputies Command. I went 6, 4, and 5.
Well, you'll be well rewarded if Green Dude can get there. He is carrying a lot of weight, that 124, and Ryan's a pretty little guy, so there's going to be a lot of dead weight. A lot of lead.
Hopefully, one of the big stronger ballots will be lifting that saddle up onto Green Dude.
I went with the favorite. Rico Walcott comes in to ride Congrats Man for Greg Tracy. He's obviously in to ride the stake from later on in the day. Like the way that horse has been running. Got him on top. Have Deputies Command, like you said, in the 2nd spot. In 3rd spot, I have Macho Keto. Horse out of the day, Forster Barn, that was in that. That's when you talk about a key race. I see this Mysterious Soul race is kind of a key race, right? Timberon came back and just wired him last weekend, and he showed good early speed. Just got a little tired late.
Right.
I think he's going to be a lot tougher with have the start under his belt.
Yeah, if you see Mysterious Soul win the stake or something, then you definitely might want to put a lot more stock into Macho Keto.
Yeah, exactly.
But I just look for a little. I know Congrats Man's been. I like him over Deputies Command. I like the 4 over the 5 only because he did lose to him last time, but at least he was battling on the head end. He had another horse going with him.
Yeah.
Great Guns that was just chasing him all the way down the backstretch, and so he had to do a lot of running last time. Congrats Man, where Deputies Command just slid up the rail to get second. But I just think Congrats Man is maybe beatable by the 6 horse Green Dude, and that's why I went that way.
4, 5, and 2 for me.
6, 4, 5 for me.
And on to the 7th, 3 and up, 12-5 claimers.
Older Geldings, yeah.
Another interesting race. I ended up going with Peace Fair here, a horse who won the first $5,000 non-winners of the year. He did it pretty convincingly, winning by 4. Fernando sticks with him. I like that. Looks like he'll be kind of the speed in the race. He doesn't seem to mind that. 2nd spot, I have Now Act, horse that won opening day here for $6,500. He jumps up. William Levanaway and Amadeo Perez are both on fire, and together they're just lights out right now. So really keep an eye on that and those connections. And in the 3rd spot, I have Kalukan Boss, horse that's going to be rolling late. He gets the extra.
I liked him last time at long odds, and he got up there.
Yeah, exactly.
At 40 odd to 1.
And
that was a good pick for 3rd.
that extra half furlong is going to help him too.
That definitely won't hurt.
Yeah, going 6.5 is a bit more his gig, so I have him in the third spot.
I went to the 6. I kind of agree with your top two, though. I went with the 6, though. Now Act on top. I was really impressed. I gave him no shot to defeat Woonbroom and them in the first race of the year, and he just spit out Woonbroom in 45-1, and then had another gear to hold off a horse that was running at
marched right along.
This horse is going to win for more money, and I think he will win today. He will win today for 12.5. I don't see anywhere near the pace scenario, so I think he's going to get things pretty easy on the head end. I don't think Peace Bear is going with him. I don't see a speed horse to go with him today. I think now Act gets comfortable fractions, and if he's as resilient as he was last time, he's going to win again. And I'm going to put Peace Bear in for second. I think he'll take the trip just in behind Now Act, and I think he'll come running at the end. I don't know if it's going to be good enough, but I think that's your exactor. And I put the 5, Swiss Arrogant, who was a distant second to Prince Intent, who obviously was stealing that day, and because he ends up for 25,000 in his next start.
Yeah, there's no Prince Intent in here.
No.
Yeah.
So I went 6, 4, and 5 in the 7th race. All right, got to close it out. Wow, stakes race again. Johnny Longden. The Johnny Longden 6,000, named after the famed jockey who won his 6,000th race right here at Hastings.
Classic race
in
at Hastings
August
here.
of 1965 on Prince Scorpion.
Very good, Michael.
Thank you. No notes either. I know I got no notes.
That's impressive.
Field of 11 going postward here. It's great to see the older horse division has such great depth, and
2 huge fields
10 of them
so far this year.
2 weeks ago, and now there's 11 of them. I went to the 7. Taylor said he didn't get into the first stake race, the George Royal, but because he didn't have enough earnings. It was that's how clouded. How many horses there were nominated and that wanted to run. But Taylor said, I think he's going to get the lead in here, or sit second off of the $5 waiting on a dime. Other than that, I just don't see any speed in here. I think the 5 and 7 should have it to themselves on the head end. Pretty impressed with Taylor said's races down south. He's come back to work well in Vancouver. I lightly raced. I like Taylor said to win it. I put Jump Up and Kiss Me in for second. He definitely deserves a win one of these days. He keeps knocking at the door.
He is.
One day he's going to boot the thing down. And I put $1 waiting on a dime, who's, as you mentioned, Rico Walcott comes in to ride for Greg Tracy as Alvarado ends up on Northern Causeway. But I put him in for third. Just the speed makes him dangerous. He won that 35 pretty easily, too. But I went 7, 3, and 5 in the Longden.
He is a nice horse, $1 waiting on a dime. I went with Northern Causeway. Excuse me. I know this might be a little short for him, but he obviously loves Hastings, right? Come up here last year, win the Derby trial, ran a bang-up race in the Derby to win the BC Derby. He's just, he just loves this track, and I think Pedro will suit him well. Kaz's horse, like I said earlier, they all look really good. He's training well. I really like the way this horse comes into the race. I probably Taylor said in second, like you said, a horse that couldn't get into the race last time.
Right.
He's lightly raced, but I think he's a star, right? He runs really tough every time. And in the third spot, St. Liam's Halo. I couldn't really decide between Taylor said and St. Liam's Halo. I imagine it was probably a pretty tough pick for Fernando Perez too. These are two really nice horses.
High-profile horses.
Yeah, St. Liam's Halo I really like. I mean,
maybe
he's
not
really eligible to win this. Maybe not at the 11 hole. That doesn't help.
And at this distance, too. I know he's won a couple sprints last year, but I think Taylor said it's probably a very good sprinter. St. Liam's Halo will be the one you want to be on when you start stretching out, going a mile and a 16th and farther. But I know a great point on Northern Causeway. He's just a little horse. He loves this track.
Yeah.
My only concern was the 10 hole and sprinting, and that was just the only negative. That's why I don't have him top 3. Could be a big mistake. I left Crew Leader out. Of course, I picked last time.
Quentin's Destiny too had a terrible trip last time. He could be in the mix. A horse that beat Taylor said in California.
I know this race runs deep, and I'm just a little worried about the deeper closers because I just don't know if $1 waiting on a dime and Taylor said are going to fly. If they go 21 and 3 or something, well then Quentin's Destiny, Crew Leader, Northern Causeway, and St. Liam's Halo will be winding from behind. They're going to have a big shot. But the way I handicap the race is that they're going to go quite comfortable early, and it might hurt these back runners. But I went to the 7, Taylor said.
And I'm on Northern Causeway. I have 10, 7, 11.
Well, that'll do it for our Sunday, May the 6th selections for Hastings Racecourse. Just up on screen here in a minute will be our selections. We'll get your pens or pencils ready. We'll quickly go through our
Mike,
picks.
you are up first.
In the first race, I went 5, 6, and 1. The 5, Broadmeister. In the second race, I went 4, 3, and 5. That's Seminole Brave, the 4 horse. In race number 3, I went to the 7, Final Curtain Call. That's 7, 4, and 5. Fourth race, I went with the 8, Brandon's Courage. Definitely, I think the best bet of the day is the 8, Brandon's Courage. I went 8, 5, and 1. In the 5th race, I went with the 1, Ice Cap. I went 1, 9, and 8. In the 6th race, I went 6, 4, 5. The 6 is Green Dude. In the 7th race, I went 6, 4, and 5. And the 6 is Now Act. And in the 8th race, I went with number 7, Taylor's Head, over the 3 and 5.
And on to my picks. In the first, I agree. I went with the 5, Broadmeister, with the 1 and 2. In the second, I took the always tough Pop Artist, number 3, over 6 and 2. In the third, Final Curtain Call, the 7, over the 5-2. In the fourth, I agree with Mike, number 8, looks really tough, Brandon's Courage, over the 5 and 1. In the fifth, number 5, Our Dubai Girl, over 6 and 4. In the sixth, your likely favorite probably, Congrats Man, number 4, over the 5 and 2. In the seventh, number 4, Peace Bear, over 6 and 3. And in the eighth and feature, John Longden, last year's Derby winner, Northern Causeway, number 10, over the 7 and 11.
Well, that'll do it for another edition of Handicappers Corner. And don't forget, if you missed any of the action, all of our selections and all of the shows are archived on the Derby Bar and Grill website. So just go to the Derby Bar and Grill website, click on the archived event that you wish to watch, and we'll be there. As well, they're on YouTube.
On YouTube, too. And you might even get a little better picture on YouTube.
On YouTube, just go to Handicappers Corner. Once you get into YouTube, type in Handicappers Corner. Once again, any episode you'll be able to watch that you've missed. Well, once again, thanks for tuning in. We'll look forward to seeing everyone next week here on Handicappers Corner.
Thank you all. Enjoy Kentucky Derby weekend.
To this here in the telegraph. Epitaph. I got the horse. Right.